Imagine a time when simply washing your hands could mean the difference between life and death.
That sounds dramatic. Seriously, how could that be possible?
It was the stark reality in the 19th century when postpartum infections, or puerperal fever, claimed countless lives after childbirth.
Yes, and at the heart of this incredible story is Ignaz Semmelweis, often hailed as the savior of mothers.
So what did he discover that was so revolutionary?
Semmelweis found that by requiring healthcare workers to disinfect their hands, the mortality rates in obstetrical clinics dropped dramatically.
In fact, he reported a reduction in maternal mortality from 18% to less than 2%.
Why was his discovery rejected? That seems unbelievable.
It was. His findings contradicted established medical beliefs, and he couldn't provide a clear theoretical rationale for them.
Which led to conflict with the medical community, ultimately resulting in tragic consequences for Semmelweis.
What happened to him?
Well, after facing ridicule and rejection, he suffered a nervous breakdown and was committed to an asylum.
There, he endured harsh treatment and died shortly after from a gangrenous wound on his hand, possibly caused by the very guards meant to care for him.
Such a heartbreaking tale. Did anyone eventually acknowledge his work?
Years later, when Louis Pasteur confirmed the germ theory, the significance of Semmelweis's observations finally gained recognition.
Indeed, it took considerable time for his contributions to be appreciated in the context of hygiene and modern medical practices.
Let's delve into Semmelweis's origins. He was born on July 1st, 1818, in a prosperous family in Buda.
What was his family like?
He was the fifth of 10 children, born into a successful grocer family with German ancestry.
Interestingly, his father's business was quite notable, which provided a comfortable upbringing.
So, did he always want to be a doctor?
Initially, he started studying law, but quickly switched to medicine, earning his degree in 1844.
He was influenced by prominent teachers, which helped mold his future career even before he began his groundbreaking research.
How did his early experiences shape his later discoveries?
That's crucial. His experiences in medical training laid the groundwork for his later observations in obstetrics. Upon his appointment at the Vienna General Hospital, he noticed a shocking trend.
What kind of trend are we talking about?
The first obstetrical clinic had a maternal mortality rate of around 10%, significantly worse than the second clinic's less than 4%.
Many women were just desperate to avoid the first clinic. They even resorted to giving birth in the streets.
Wow, did he figure out what was going on?
Absolutely. His quest began when he noticed that maternal fever was rare among women who delivered outside the clinics.
That led him to ask pivotal questions and investigate what factors could explain these discrepancies.
Semmelweis meticulously analyzed the situation between the two clinics.
And what did he find?
He ruled out overcrowding and climate, but couldn't seem to grasp the pivotal connection at first.
It was a perplexing paradox that truly tested his observational skills and determination.
Did he come up with any theories?
He speculated wildly, even suggesting that the presence of priests giving last rites scared women into developing fevers.
Which shows how desperate he was for answers, even if his theories seemed far-fetched.
Then everything changed in 1847 with the tragic death of Semmelweis's friend Jakob Kolečka.
What happened to him?
Kolečka had a mortifying accident with a scalpel, and the autopsy revealed disturbing similarities to the suffering women.
Semmelweis suddenly theorized a connection between cadaveric contamination and puerperal fever.
That is a huge leap. What did he do next?
He began to implement stringent hand-washing protocols using chlorinated lime between autopsies and patient interactions.
Almost instantly, the results were stunning. Mortality rates plummeted.
Just how drastic was the change?
In less than 3 months, the first clinic's mortality rate dropped to an astonishing 0 for a stretch.
A stark reminder of how life-saving simple practices like hand-washing can be.
But why did it take so long for this to be recognized?
Well, at the time, the germ theory of disease wasn't widely accepted, leaving Semmelweis's findings without a solid foundation.
And that contributed to the tragic loss of a remarkable pioneer who changed the course of maternal health care.